polling the jury, having found that this is a unanimous verdict, the court will read the verdict as follows. In indictment 2300241, State of Tennessee versus Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith, if counsel would like to stand with their clients. The verdicts read as follows. Count 1, second-degree murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justice Smith, not guilty. Count 2. Aggravated assault, acting in concert. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 3. Aggravated kidnapping with bodily injury. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 4. Aggravated kidnapping with a deadly weapon. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 5. Official misconduct, unauthorized exercise of official authority. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 5. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 5. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 6. Official misconduct, refraining from performing a duty. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 7, official oppression. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 7, we, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 7, we, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. All verdict forms have been signed by the foreperson. Attorneys, you can have a seat with your clients. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have performed your duty. We appreciate the time and attention that you all have given to this case. We will now excuse you all from the courtroom.
We're going to be excused.
My personal opinion, I am beyond flabbergasted. I absolutely cannot believe, based on the evidence presented, that they have walked all three scot-free, not guilty, on 7 charges. I'm floored. I'm floored. But that's what the jury decided. Let's go back in.
Mr. Bean, Mr. Haley, and Mr. Smith, the jury of your peers have found you not guilty on all charges with these matters. The court will enter the judgment sheets accordingly, and this will conclude your matter that's before the court. Good luck. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can go ahead and adjourn.
All rise.
Yeah, let's.
Court is adjourned at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Well, there's the emotion of three men whose lives are literally saved today. They're free. They're free. They're not going to jail. Julia Janae is still here with me. I'm going to put my personal opinions aside, return to my role as an anchor. Your reaction.
Actually, it is shocking. It is shocking to see officers who were associated with the images that we've seen of Tyre Nichols, and his name was being spoken around the world when that happened. And for all the officers to be found not guilty, but I say all, there were two co-defendants, one of whom took the stand, one did not, and the one that did not take the stand, Emmett Martin, Desmond Mills did testify, but Emmett Martin was invoked in the closing arguments for these individuals by saying they should not be punished for what he did, what he instigated. And sometimes when you have that missing person in the courtroom, that can weigh on jurors. Why is that person who perhaps is more culpable not here facing a trial?
And you are right. It's a good thing to point out that two have been held accountable. They did enter pleas, and that's a good thing at the end of the day. And you're right, they may have looked at that and said, well, where's that guy? Look at him and how bad it is in terms of what he was doing. I just have to comment, Julia, on, again, I can't even imagine. I don't know that they were necessarily expecting not guilty. They were probably obviously hoping for not guilty, but how they must be feeling not guilty of all 7 charges.
Across the board.
Across the board.
Second-degree murder was going to perhaps be the most difficult one for this jury to come to, but I didn't expect that they would on aggravated assault, on aggravated kidnapping, misconduct. I mean, at the very basic
2 different
level,
charges. Yes.
Just not upholding your oath as a police officer when you saw the repeated kicks and hits in the face of Tyre Nichols when this was all over, but not guilty for Tadarius Bean, Justin Smith, and Demetrius Haley today.
Is something else. Official oppression is the other one. I thought, well, maybe it's guilty on that. It's not guilty. Let's bring back in Marie Pereira. I can imagine you feel exactly the same way as I have said. Here's my personal opinion. I'm floored at this verdict. Having said that, the jury has spoken. Your reaction?
I'm shocked. I really am, and I'm heartbroken, and it sends a chilling message to any person on this earth. And that doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, black, white, purple, that police officers can stop you. And if you try to run away or you don't behave in a way they deem acceptable and you exert any type of resistance, you can be murdered on video, and they will get away with it. On my way here, I got stopped by a police officer because he said I ran a full stop, rushing to get on air. If I didn't cooperate and I talked back, anything could have happened to me. I thought this was a slam dunk, at least like you said, for official misconduct. They stood by and watched whoever it was that pled guilty or was convicted murder that little boy while he was screaming for his mom. And they get away with it. Every single charge. That's shocking to me.
Yeah, it is to me too. And you know, video is often deemed the best evidence, right? And you had that in this case. You had it on tape. I cannot even imagine how his mother must be feeling. We heard from her about how she just passed out when she saw Tyre Nichols, her son. And, you know, it begs, there are a lot of conversations to be had, especially with young people, and I have it with my 3 teens all the time, to your point, Marie, of how to react when you're stopped. Anybody can be stopped, and it happens to all of us, to your point, and how you react can make a real difference. And I do think, Julia, that highlights that in this case.
This jury sent a message with that. When you come across the board, not a good, well, yeah, depends on how you look at it, but to not at least understand the high-profile nature of this case. Now, no doubt they must have fully agreed that these officers were doing their job, all the way down to that last count of official oppression or official misconduct. But for them to, across the board, not to even split hairs between the 3 different co-defendants.
And I thought they might.
3 different officers. Yes. They might have found one more culpable than the other, but they sent a clear, unanimous decision across the board. And you heard the judge asking to poll the jury first.
Now we know why.
Normally, judges don't ask for a polling beforehand, but I imagine because you don't know the emotional reaction for something like this, that you get the poll first before you go into what is your verdict.
I think that was smart. I think that's exactly why he did it, because he also knew what was coming, whether it was guilty or not guilty, an emotional issue for everyone inside that courtroom. I just have to again reiterate for our viewers just joining us, these are the 3 officers charged in the death of Tyre Nichols and charged with second-degree murder, and a total of 7 charges in all: aggravated assault. We had aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, official oppression, and a deadly weapon. And they've been found not guilty, acquitted of all charges. One viewer said, what does this mean? It means they walk out of jail. They're free. There is no restriction on what they can do now because they have been found not guilty across the board. I just must take this opportunity. Thank you to Julia Janae for being here on set to cover this verdict, but also from the bench, I just have to share this thought because I am shocked at this verdict given the video. But here's the truth of the matter at the end of the day. Our juries take their job very seriously. They consider all of the evidence. This jury deliberated more than 8 hours and 40 minutes. Clearly, they took their job seriously. And I am always amazed that no matter how much you think you know, no matter what you've heard in a jury trial, you don't know what a jury's going to do. The jury has spoken, all 3 not guilty.